right now. She's the center of political controversy, and tonight, Stormy Daniels makes an appearance here in Milwaukee.
Plus, getting you ready for more storms and the possibility of heavy rain coming up.
And local police gather to remember the officer killed in the line of duty earlier this week. The news at 10 starts now. We begin with breaking news tonight. A child hit by a car on Milwaukee's south side. The fire department confirms that it happened on South 29th Street near Beecher. We do not have an age for that child yet and no condition report so far. That child was taken to Children's Hospital. We have new details tonight on the breaking news we first brought you on the CBS 58 News at 5. A helicopter crash in downtown Oshkosh today. We now know that one person was killed when the helicopter went into the Fox River early this afternoon. A spokesperson for the Winnebago County Sheriff's Department says one body was recovered, and when asked if anyone else was on the helicopter, she could not say. She did talk about the problems rescuers had reaching that helicopter. Once again, one person confirmed dead after the helicopter crash in Oshkosh. We don't know if anyone else was on board, and we don't know exactly what caused that crash, though we do know it hit power lines before hitting the water. Watch for more information on our newscast tomorrow evening. Adult film star Stormy Daniels has been in the headlines for months, and tonight she's here in Milwaukee as she makes a stop on her national tour. CBS 58's Stephanie Buffamonte joins us live outside of Silk Exotic in Milwaukee with how fans are reacting. Stephanie, thank you. It was a damp and kind of dreary day for a good portion of Saturday, and Justin Thompson-Gee is here to tell us that it might get even wetter and drearier tomorrow morning. Isn't that right, Justin?
Yeah.
Thank you, Justin. It's now been 2 days since 23-year-old Milwaukee police officer Charles Irvine Jr. was killed when his squad car crashed. His name is now on the list of fallen officers remembered at the annual law enforcement ride at the House of Harley-Davidson. CBS 58's Amanda DeVoe was at that event where Officer Irvine was on everyone's mind. Today, the Milwaukee Police Department sent out this tweet thanking everyone who has offered their thoughts and prayers as well as food cards and flowers after the death of Officer Irvine. They also thank the New York Yankees who sent the department a wreath along with a note that expressed their deepest sympathy for the entire Irvine family and the Milwaukee Police Department. Officer Irvine's body was brought to a Northside funeral home on Friday. Funeral arrangements have not yet been announced, but there are plans for a community vigil for the officer at 7 o'clock Monday night. That will be at 76th and Silver Spring at the site of Thursday's crash. And Sobelman's Pub and Grill on 19th and St. Paul plans a fundraiser next Saturday in Officer Irvine's honor. Details will also be announced early next week. We have a lot more information about Officer Irvine's death on our website, cbs58.com, including press conferences after the crash, witness reaction, and messages of condolence. Milwaukee police still haven't said much about that disturbance right outside police headquarters downtown last night. This was breaking news on the CBS 58 News at 10. Two men throwing punches after a pickup truck with a missing wheel pulled up. Officers responded quickly, and we saw one of the men sitting on the grass a short time later. We've reached out to the police department, and they haven't said anything about what that fight was or whether anyone had been arrested. New at 5, a church on Milwaukee's north side is damaged by fire. The call sent firefighters to 12th and Center Street where smoke was coming from the Evergreen Missionary Baptist Church. The battalion chief says this fire started in a basement kitchen area and it spread through the walls to the church proper. There were people inside the church when that fire broke out, but everyone did get out safely. Damage to the church basement is extensive, and the battalion chief says damage to the rest of the building is moderate. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. The suspect from a tense standoff in Cedarburg will appear in court Monday. It happened last night on Garfield Street in Cedarburg. According to police, someone called and told them they feared for their life, and when police called, the suspect, that person refused to meet with officers and threatened to shoot an officer who came to the house. A special response team was called to surround the area and warn neighbors. More than 4 hours after the first call, the suspect did surrender peacefully. They call it Moving Day in Wauwatosa, a fundraiser to support victims of Parkinson's disease. Joe Luke was diagnosed with Parkinson's in 2008, but he just kept moving, and today he was one of the captains of the fundraising walk that started in Hart Park. Luke says he was depressed for about a year after his diagnosis until he read some medical research. Yeah, today's walk raised money for the Parkinson's Foundation, which supports treatment for patients and Parkinson's research. Coming up on the news at 10, why those royal newlyweds were back on display in a horse-drawn carriage today in England. And some young athletes from Burlington have a weekend they will never forget. Graduation at the Capitol before the biggest games of their lives. Find out how it all turned out.
And we have at least one more day.